Hello peeps, how's it going? Here is the Hillbilly Half with you, Gaza, explaining about the carbon cowboys. Now this came out of a well-known paper, as you can see on the bottom there. So I don't really like most of the stuff, but this somebody has actually done a bit of investigating here, and it seems like they found out as much as we all know already, that it's the biggest con in the universe. Anyway, if everybody's watching this, please thank you for watching this. Could you comment, rate and subscribe and share this stuff to get this message out there to people? We need to do it. And you have been, and I really, really appreciate it. So comment, rate and subscribe and share, and subscribe if you can. We want to get this info out there. Anyway, what this is all about is a journalist has been writing about how much of a con this all is, really. We don't know where the money is going. The carbon cowboys making millions from credit schemes. Now this is coming to Wales. This same thing will be coming to Wales, and they'll tie the land up, and the landowners won't be able to do it. It'll be the governments that'll be doing it. We all know that. That's why this SFS scheme is being done. If they realise that the Welsh farms themselves could do it, they would stop it, because we bypass the Welsh government altogether. If we could sell our own carbon credits to firms, we wouldn't need to go to the Welsh government, and then the Welsh government wouldn't have any power over us. So this is what it's all about. Now, let's carry on. The carbon schemes are touted as a way to transfer billions in climate finance to the developing world, but people at the Kariba project in Zimbabwe say most of the profits never arrive. We know that us who are already noticing all this stuff, we know this is all happening. I'm not going to read all this because it's going to take me too long. You just click on the video and read it for yourself, okay? Basically, these little areas, beautiful little areas in Africa, are being looked on as a money tree for people selling stuff. So let's go a small bit of it. These communities fall within the vast lucrative Kariba conservation project, encompassing an area almost the size of Puerto Rico. It is almost the largest in a portfolio of forest offsetting schemes supplied by Vera, the world's largest certifier. Since 2011, this project alone has generated revenue of more than $100 million, so 85 million, from selling carbon credits equivalent to Kenya's 2022 national emissions to Western companies, according to the now deleted figures published by the project developer. Proponents say these schemes are a quick way of transferring billions of dollars of climate and biodiversity finance to the developing world through company net zero pledges. I'm already listening to that and thinking it's a scam. More than a decade on from the project's inception, however, many people say the project and infrastructure they anticipated never emerged. Only a fraction of the $100 million has been distributed to the villages within the project. We're not seeing the money trickle down. This guy here says, surely a reward must come, says Roger Kuvara, a 46-year-old who lives in the Chikova village in... Christ, there's some weird names of these places. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing them. He became a forest ranger with the local council funded by the offsetting project. We hear reports that the company has been taking lots of money, but we do not know when this money is going to. The community is complaining because they are not seeing money trickle down. South Pole, the carbon scheme's broker and technical lead, walked away from the Kariba scheme in October, saying it was determined to learn from its experience on the project. The changes followed exposed by Follow the Money, Dizet and the New Yorker, which raised concerns about the financial transparency and undisclosed trophy hunting activity in the project area. So they've been shooting animals. Oh my god. The confusion leaves Kariba's villages and forests with an uncertain future, and after a year of controversies, the wider carbon market is in crisis. with some experts concerned that other projects around the world should be abandoned amid evidence that many projects are producing huge numbers of worthless credits that many believe do not mitigate global heating. We all know that. We're still saying that. This is what we have got, a cult in charge that wants to make money by getting money off all us poor. We're paying for all this. Under this kind of carbon offsetting scheme, communities are meant to be rewarded via cash or investment in local infrastructure for keeping trees standing. In reality, however, there is no legal contractual obligations for companies selling offsets to share revenues, which are often kept secret by the project developers. Gone. Much of the $100 million revenue generated by Kariba has been carved off along the way by the project developers in fees and expenses. 86 million. Jesus, so that's 80%. Just over 80% of the money went into costs and profits assigned to the broker and technical lead South Pole, and to the project coordinator Carbon Green Investments. In the end, only a maximum of 14 million went to Kariba's communities through the cash transfers and infrastructure projects. See, that's how charities work in the UK. I've heard it for years that if you give money to a charity, only 2% of that pound you give goes to the actual people. It goes to the rest of it, the 98% goes to paying the wages for the charity. It doesn't go to the actual people you give it to. It's quite worrying, isn't it? Look at the amount of money involved. That is coming to a place near us in Wales, guaranteed. I do feel sorry for these people. They've been basically stumped over, haven't they? The Guardian reviewed project documents, approached District Council officials, contacted Vera, South Pole and Steve Wentle, the Zimbabwean entrepreneur who owns land for the Kariba project and owns Carbon Green Investments, the company responsible for distributing the funds, and sent a reporter to Kariba to interview people and look for evidence of projects. While there was evidence some funds had been distributed to communities in an area, we found that only a fraction of the project revenue reached ground level. Well, it would do, because, like we just said before, 85% of it's all gone. It's unreal. South Poles, which was not involved in providing any services on ground, made $18 million profit, according to its figures, since deleted from its website. More than what was spent on Kariba itself. The Swiss firm deducted 24 million costs before sending 57 million to Wenzel for his 30% share of revenue, project costs and local communities. On paper the money has been given, but in practice it has not been seen on the ground at all, says Big Boy, a teacher living in the carbon project. I have been speaking to local chiefs. They have seen nothing to show for it, he says. There's a small agricultural field and a few borehole projects. We need to see visible things on the ground. People are angry at how much we're benefiting on the carbon project. See, this mimics something I heard the other night. When I went to that meeting, the National Trust have been doing a job last year of, I won't mention the area, but they've been restoring peat. Now, in the area where I am, there's about 20, 25, 30 farmers. As a whole, they get around, I think it was about 100,000 between them all for this area. So when you carve it all up, it's nothing really. And they're not supposed to do anything on the ground. They're not supposed to make any marks or anything. But the National Trust have made a hell of a mess up there. And they've been using diggers going back and forward to do the thing. They've been scraping holes there, filling in ditches. Now, it sounds all great, but I didn't realise till the other day that they'd spent 700,000 on that. Where is that money coming from? When you think the farmers on the ground are only getting Well, a tenth of it at least. And they've made such a mess up there. But anyway, it's the same thing is happening. Now, it is the carbon cowboys. For companies that trade in Kariba's carbon credits, however, there is little doubt of the financial benefits generated by the project. During the pandemic, prices for forest carbon credits rose dramatically, from less than £1 a tonne to more than £30 a tonne, 78p to £23.30. For some schemes, that's unreal, isn't it? In the process, projects like Kariba were transformed from struggling conservation schemes into financial assets worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The credits have been traded by a growing number of carbon desks at investment banks and oil companies at lucrative premiums. Now that's what it's all about. We know what it's all about. It's all about making money for a certain people. Now, I've said this all along. They want to take the ground that's on our hills in Wales, and basically remove the people that are there, the hill clearances, and so they can get their grubby little mitts on it. Especially lots of these so-called right-on organisations they're not nice people, I don't think, because the way they work is by chucking people off. Now, sorry, I can't read all this. The video is going to be too long, but if you want to click on it and see it. It's basically, they've been walked all over and all the money's gone. They thought they were going to receive a lot, but nothing's changed. It's, Wenzel, the owner of Carbon Green Investment, has faced significant scrutiny of the financial management and bookkeeping on the project. He was ultimately able to provide the Guardian with internal documentation explaining 14 million of distributed funds, including detailed receipts and invoices for about 4.5 million of that total. He's undertaking a voluntary audit. A voluntary audit, eh? Yes. They're nicking the money. They're creating an invisible thing to trade that wasn't there before. That's how it all works, isn't it, with investing? They'll say they'll blow a football up and that ball will bounce, and people will pay money for that ball to bounce, even though there's no air in it. So, like I said, I'm not going to read this all out, but you lot can all read this all out. This is a whole article here. So, somebody's done a good job, I will say. Like I said, some journalists are following the stories, but lots of them are just running from it. They're running from it all, because they're scared to get anywhere near the truth of the corruption in it all. So I know this has been a little bit of a long one, but like I said, I can't read it all out. This video goes too long. So please comment, rate and subscribe and share these videos. Let's get this info out there. And thank you very much, peeps. See you again. All the best, guys.